Hello and welcome to the latest webinar from Essent. Today we're going to take a look at how to create the consumer e-commerce experience that buyers want in the business world. Specifically, we're going to look at 10 consumer e-commerce tools that can be used in business e-commerce to improve the experience. My name is Doug Brill. I'm the Essent Marketing Coordinator and I specialize in the promotional products industry. I'm also your moderator for today. Before we begin, a very brief overview of Essent. Essent is the leader in providing comprehensive business management solutions since 1981. Essent has been serving distributors, decorators, and suppliers in the promotional products industry since the year 2000, and more than $3 billion in commerce flows through Essent solutions each year. We want to answer everyone's questions in a way that's sensitive to everyone's time, and we do aim to wrap up this webinar within half an hour. If you do have questions, we ask that you please submit them in the webinar dashboard, and then we'll be happy to answer those questions offline after the webinar has ended. So why should businesses make their e-commerce more like consumer e-commerce? In short, that's what buyers want. According to a Forbes study, 94% of B2B buyers wanted suppliers to make their websites more like B2C websites. According to Oracle, B2B customers expect the same type of online interaction as a B2C shopping experience. And thankfully, technology is here to help. According to Ariba, technologies make the difference between consumer-like shopping and what they called shopping agony. And with that, here to bring you a closer look at improving business e-commerce is your presenter, David Jungling. DJ is a sales coordinator for Essent, and he's also a specialist in the promotional products industry. DJ is going to tell you a bit more about how to improve e-commerce to drive more sales by giving business buyers the e-commerce experience that they want and expect.
Hello, and today's seminar we will be identifying and highlighting some of the areas that B2C e-commerce is doing successfully and why it should be applied to the B2B shopping experience to achieve the same results. We've identified at least 10 features that are common in consumer e-commerce and can be applied to business e-commerce for a better experience. And they are deals and promotions, user-friendly catalogs, user-friendly carts, abandoned shopping carts, guest checkout, line item shipped to, customer self-service, visual product configurator, ordering from a mobile device, and product reviews. Let's take a look at our first tool, deals and promotions. Deals and promotions are everywhere in consumer e-commerce. So we want them everywhere in business e-commerce too. But more than that, we want a promotions engine that makes promotions integrated and easy to use. E-commerce websites and business management systems need to be capable of generating, processing, and tracking various promotions from start to finish. This might include a percentage off to bring buyers in, whether it's right off the bat or triggered by a certain spending amount. Free shipping, again, right off the bat or triggered by spending. And quantity-based pricing. The most common example in consumer e-commerce is buy one, get one free. But business e-commerce deals in bigger volumes where it makes sense to offer discounts based on quantity. But that's the easy part. The most difficult part is managing the promotion all the way through the order lifecycle. It needs to be reflected in the quoting phase, then in the order processing, then again in shipping, and again in invoicing, and finally in accounting. Managing the promotion at every step of the order lifecycle is difficult. Manual data entry at every step invites mistakes or omissions, not to mention that it takes time and labor to manage those steps. Integration is going to make promotions management much easier. Specifically, a company wants to integrate its e-commerce website with its back office business management system, or ERP. That way, the company can offer the deal on the website, then it automatically flows into the back office. Not only does it flow into the back office, but once it's in the back office, it can flow through every step of the order life cycle. To further support the power of deals and promotions, studies show that 50% of abandoned shopping carts are triggered by shipping and handling cost. So a promotion that reduces shipping and handling costs will increase sales. 88% of consumers would be more likely to buy if they were offered a ship-free promotion. And shoppers spend 30% more per order when free shipping is included. Product catalogs are fundamental to the e-commerce experience. Without something to sell, there is no e-commerce. So improving the catalog means improving the e-commerce experience and making it more like the consumer e-commerce that buyers expect. User-friendly catalogs make it easy for buyers to find what they want. But through related items, categories, and subcategories, they also make it easy for buyers to find items they didn't even know they wanted. More importantly, they're easy to use. The shopper does not need to comb through the entire catalog to find products they're looking for. When it comes to product descriptions, the manufacturer specs are not enough. You want keyword-rich product descriptions. They help shoppers because they present what's for sale. And just as importantly, they help search engines find the products. Product grouping is equally important. Buyers can't be forced to browse hundreds of products individually. Putting similar items in groups allows the buyer to search the group for the specific item so that they're easier to find. The most effective way to manage catalogs on an e-commerce website may be managing them in the back office. You can manage images and descriptions in the back office. You can group and categorize products in the back office. And you can insert and define searchable factors in the back office. And now, just by managing the back office, all of these factors are automatically reflected on the e-commerce website. The back office catalog and website catalog are managed at the same time. Like product catalogs, shopping carts are fundamental to e-commerce. So improving the cart means fundamentally improving the e-commerce experience. When we talk about improving the e-commerce cart, we're talking about removing barriers to sales. Some major tools that can be employed in the shopping cart to remove barrier to sales are abandoned cart notification, line item shipped to, and guest checkout. Getting a buyer to place items in a cart is not the same as getting a buyer to buy. In all types of e-commerce, more than half of shopping carts are abandoned, meaning someone picked out the items to buy but never bought them. And they're not always a dissatisfied shopper. Many buyers use the cart to comparison shop. They fill up a cart to see the total cost, then they may do the same with similar items on another website. And buyers commonly fill up a cart planning to come back to it later. So it's critical, first of all, to retain the contents of the cart. There are any number of reasons the buyer might be coming back to it. Then the seller can send a notification to the buyer reminding them of the contents of the cart. Systems can be set up to do this automatically, such as sending an automated email. And companies can even offer a promotion to close the sale. An automated email that displays the contents of the cart and then offers free shipping might be all it takes to convert that cart. Another way to remove a barrier to sales in the shopping cart is by offering line item ship to. What we mean by line item ship to is that item A can ship to one address, item B can ship to a separate address, and so on. So for example, if the buyer needs the shirts to go to one place for embroidery, and the mugs to go to another place for imprinting, and the pens to go directly to the trade show, the buyer can do that. Without line item ship to, it's difficult to get all of the items delivered to where they belong. To get the items to their respective locations, the buyer is going to need to unpack the cart and create separate orders. And besides being a hassle, this could potentially include extra shipping costs that makes the buyer think twice. Another option is to ship the order to one address, then reship the items to their respective locations from there. Yet another hassle. Once the cart is full and the buyer is ready to buy, the seller does not want to create this final hurdle to conversion. Some e-commerce systems need a shipping engine that can handle this type of nuance for a better buying experience. This is especially important in the promotional products industry, where transactions routinely require more than one shipment and more than one destination. Another major barrier within the shopping cart is required registration, or put another way, the lack of guest checkout. Studies show that 25% of e-commerce buyers will leave if they're forced to register in order to check out. This could be because the buyer is skeptical of creating an account, or they just don't feel like punching in all of their data to create an account. Required registration doesn't seem to affect Amazon too much, but requiring shoppers to register generally is a barrier to sales. Either way, mandatory registration is a barrier that 25% of buyers are not willing to clear. So e-commerce systems can theoretically gain 25% more conversions with guest checkout. This means not requiring a username and password. Sellers want to make the guest checkout option apparent, and sellers, of course, need an e-commerce system that supports guest checkout. Another tool to provide business buyers the consumer e-commerce experience is customer self-service. Customer self-service is a win-win. The buyer gains convenience, control, and confidence because they can define and configure the items in the order. And the seller saves time and labor because the buyer is handling all of the details. The key to providing customer self-service is an e-commerce system with a built-in product configuration engine. The seller needs to provide only valid configuration options. The seller puts configuration options on the menu, so to speak, and the buyer chooses the options. It could include options on artwork, imprint location, size, color, and more. This way, the buyer can customize the product, but only within the rules set by the seller. And in turn, the seller receives a well-formed order. It adheres to the seller's rules. It's complete and accurate because the seller defined the required information and the available options, and therefore the order is ready for immediate processing. It doesn't require any additional work to get started. Our next tool to make business e-commerce more like consumer e-commerce is a visual product configurator. A visual product configurator takes customer self-service to the next level by visually representing the product as modifications are made. With a visual product configurator, a buyer can see the product image and price change in real time as they customize a product. This website allows a buyer to select a product, decorate it, and then see a preview of the decorated product before they order it. Here's another example where a customer can order business cards online, fill in the order information, and then see a virtual preview of the business card before it's printed. Buyers gain the convenience of not only configuring the order, but previewing the look and price changes in real time. E-commerce is no longer something that happens only on a desktop computer. In order to provide a great e-commerce experience that buyers expect, the e-commerce website needs to provide a great mobile experience as well. The majority of e-commerce traffic is actually generated on mobile devices, like a smartphone. More than a third of e-commerce sales are closed on mobile. And mobile e-commerce is expected to grow twice as fast as desktop e-commerce in the coming years. So sellers need an e-commerce content management system that can create a mobile experience that's as strong as the desktop experience. This includes responsive web design, where the e-commerce store identifies the size of the device and responds to fit that size. It also includes adaptive web design, where pieces on the website move around or adapt to fit to the size of the device. And ideally, the e-commerce website is capable of both, so that it can always provide an optimal user interface and user experience. And since we're talking about mobile, it's a good time to remember the importance of abandoned shopping cart notification. More than 80% of mobile e-commerce carts are abandoned. Part of this is that many buyers use their mobile device as a research tool. They compare and research, intending to check out later on a desktop. So a seller especially does not want to let a mobile buyer forget about a cart. Here, those automated abandoned shopping cart notifications are critical. This brings us to the final tool that we will be highlighting today, and that's product reviews. 88% of customers say they trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. Online information is the way buyers are placing their trust in a store, brand, or product. But while product reviews are common on consumer e-commerce websites, they're almost unheard of in the B2B e-commerce. That sounds like a problem, but really it's an opportunity. The business e-commerce website that can offer product reviews is offering a feature usually seen only in the consumer e-commerce environment. Here's one way product reviews are implemented. The seller can define the survey with the questions and rating system. The e-commerce system can then automatically send a survey to people who bought the products. Buyers answer the survey, and credibility is established because the survey only goes to those who bought the product. And with that, business buyers are getting information that they're used to seeing only in consumer e-commerce. And this brings us back to our list of tools that provide business buyers the consumer e-commerce experience that they want and expect. We discussed deals and promotions, user-friendly catalogs, user-friendly carts, abandoned cart notification, guest checkout, line item shipped to, customer self-service, visual product configurator, ordering from a mobile device, product reviews. And so now I'd like to turn it back over to Doug. Doug can tell you where you can learn even more.
Thank you very much, DJ. Whether it's business to business or business to consumer, Essent is dedicated to providing great e-commerce experiences in the promotional products industry and beyond. Essent software platforms support all the features and functionality that we discussed today. You can visit essent.com/B2B Ecommerce to learn more. There, you can read more about the top 10 tools that we discussed today, find out more about the Essent e-commerce platform, or schedule time to talk with an Essent representative about how to improve the business e-commerce experience. Again, visit essent.com/B2B ecommerce to learn more about creating the e-commerce experience that business buyers want and expect. Thanks again to everyone for attending today's webinar, Ending Shopping Agony for Business Buyers.